Kourtney Kardashian is expecting her first child with Travis Barker, and her ex Scott Disick is reportedly having a really tough time accepting the news.
It kills me to the point that I feel like I can't make it up.
Kourtney just announced she's pregnant at a Blink-182 concert, and fans are now worried that the news could send Scott over the edge. Scott was recently involved in a scary car accident, and he's also been dealing with mental health issues on top of battling his addiction. According to sources close to Scott, he doesn't have much going on for him right now, and Scott himself recently admitted that if it wasn't for his kids, he would give up.
If I didn't have those kids, I would kill myself.
So how did Scott react to Kourtney's pregnancy news? Why are fans so worried for Scott? On Friday, June 16th, Kourtney Kardashian staged a pregnancy reveal at her husband Travis Barker's band Blink-182's concert in Los Angeles by holding up a sign that read, "Travis, I'm pregnant." The stunt was a reference to Blink-182's classic video for the song All the Small Things, which shows a Blink-182 fan holding up the same sign. Though Travis played along with Kourtney's surprise reveal and jumped off the stage to kiss her, it's now been confirmed that he knew about the pregnancy for months. Kourtney and Travis have been very open about their desire to have a child together. However, their journey hasn't been easy. In fact, pregnancy news comes just weeks after Kourtney revealed on an episode of Hulu's The Kardashians that she and Travis decided to stop IVF treatment.
We are officially done with IVF. We would love a baby more than anything, but I just really believe in what God has in store for us. If that's a baby, then I believe that it will happen.
Shortly after tying the knot in May 2022, Kourtney and Travis underwent IVF using eggs Kourtney froze prior to their relationship. However, the IVF was unsuccessful, so Kourtney and Travis decided to let nature take its course. Kourtney, who shares 3 children with her ex-partner Scott Disick, previously said that motherhood is her favorite role in life and that it gives her purpose. So obviously, Kourtney is over the moon to be pregnant again, and sources close to Kourt are saying that she and Travis are excited beyond belief about the pregnancy because they both knew they wanted to have a baby together from the moment they started dating. And while Kourtney's friends and family are thrilled for her, fans on social media are wondering how Scott is dealing with the pregnancy news. Though Scott hasn't been active on social media for weeks after Kourtney announced her pregnancy, fans flooded the comment section on Scott's last post saying someone needs to check on him. According to a source close to Scott, he's not doing great right now, and his friends are reportedly worried about his mental state. To give you some context, Scott had a very tough time accepting Kourtney and Travis's relationship, and when they first started dating, Scott was convinced it wasn't gonna last. In fact, shortly before Kourtney and Travis went public with their romance, Scott told Kourtney during an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians that he wanted to marry her.
I love you, and I'm ready to marry you right here, right now.
Wait, he's saying some real words.
Kourtney knows that eventually we'll get married and live a good life.
However, by that point, Kourtney had already lost all trust in Scott after years of cheating and drama surrounding his addiction issues. And if you've been following Kourtney and Scott's relationship from the start, then you know that Kourtney tried really hard to make things work with Scott. But she was too afraid to get married, knowing that if it doesn't work out, the divorce could ruin her co-parenting relationship and affect their kids. Meanwhile, Kourtney found true love with Travis, and after it became clear that they were in it for the long run, Scott really struggled to accept it. After Travis proposed to Kourtney in October 2021, one source close to Scott told Hollywood Life that Scott was worried Kourtney's engagement would make him lose his standing within the family. Also adding that Kourtney getting married would be such a gut punch because he wasn't the one who did it. And then after Kourtney and Travis tied the knot in Las Vegas in April 2022, another insider shared that Scott was absolutely crushed about Kourtney moving on with Travis. The insider said that the wedding news came as a gut punch to Scott because years ago, he and Kourtney were planning to elope in Las Vegas before Kris Jenner talked Kourtney out of it. Kourtney almost married Scott in Las Vegas years ago, and Kris was able to deter them from doing it, one source told Hollywood Life. They almost got married there, and Kourtney knows this. Whether or not it was just for fun, it was a reality check and an eye-opener for Scott. The source explained that it was one thing to get over the fact that they were engaged in the first place, but to find out they went through with the ceremony in Vegas of all places, he felt crushed. A separate insider also added that Scott wishes he would have done everything differently, but it is too late to cry over spilled milk. Scott knew that the day would come, and although it wasn't official because they did not get a marriage license, it still really bugs him, the source shared. It just gets him to think about her more and what got away. It is sad that he is forced to think about the old times when they were together as a family. Kourtney and Travis's surprise wedding apparently made Scott think of his children, and he felt sad he didn't do more to keep them together. Seeing all the Vegas wedding happenings was a slap in the face to him. It was expected, but not exactly something he wanted to deal with. Meanwhile, Scott's other ex, so Sophia Richie also moved on and got married to British record executive Elliot Grange back in April. And sources close to Scott are saying Scott never felt this lonely in a while. His last public romance was with UK-based model Rebecca Donaldson. However, the relationship was short-lived and they broke up after just 2 months of dating. And then, just weeks after his breakup with Rebecca was announced, Scott was involved in a terrifying car accident in Calabasas. According to TMZ, Scott was driving in the Oaks gated community when he smashed into a stone mailbox and flipped his Lamborghini. Luckily, Scott wasn't seriously injured. However, he did sustain a minor cut on his head, and when police arrived, he refused medical attention. And while it was initially unclear exactly what made Scott lose control of the vehicle, many are worried that Scott fell off the wagon again. However, the LASD later released a statement saying that it was determined the primary cause of the collision was speed, and alcohol was not a factor. Mr. Disick suffered minor, non-life-threatening injuries and declined medical treatment, the statement read. He was picked up from the scene by family members, and his vehicle was towed away per his request. However, now that Kourtney announced her pregnancy with Travis, fans are again saying that they're worried Scott will spiral again because he doesn't seem to have any support system around him. Although Scott maintained a close relationship with the Kardashians and recently returned to their Hulu show, sources close to Scott are saying that he and Travis are not on friendly terms, which makes the pregnancy news even more challenging for Scott to accept. Scott can't stand being around him. He despises Travis, one source said. The insider also shared that Scott still wishes things were different between him and Kourtney, and he feels Kourt is the one who got away. He feels that he's not going to find someone like Kourtney, the source said. It's going to take a long time for him to fully accept Travis is the one for her. Now, as for fans, some of them are saying that they feel sorry for Scott because he doesn't have any family left, and despite his past mistakes, he seems like a genuine person. However, others are not feeling very sympathetic, and they believe that Scott got what he deserves for putting Kourtney through hell and taking her for granted. One fan said, Scott lost his whole family. He explains that the Kardashians are all he has, but he messed up with Kourtney, so he feels he has no one now. He cares, and he admits he does. I feel bad for him. However, another fan clapped back. I don't feel bad for Scott. He cheated on Kourtney multiple times and dates teenagers. You either step up as a man or you don't, and another does. It's simple. I know I don't know these people, but come on now, it's facts. But what about you? How do you feel about Scott after Kourtney's pregnancy reveal? Comment down below, and we'll see you in our next video.